the thing. You're not happy. You're underpaid or literally unpaid and you need some bread. But I know you, I read your text messages. You told your friends, I saw that. You were like, yeah, I should probably pick up some shifts in my work or I should probably get a second job. As if that's the solution. You thought for a second you could fix your money problems by working more hours at minimum wage. I know you don't want to do that. So how about this instead? Instead of taking the slow route, I'm gonna put an extra 20K in your bank account by the end of this year, okay? It's still early, you got time on your hands, and I'm about to show you a very easy and linear way to make 5K a month outside of your job or school or whatever you're doing during the day. No need to pick up shifts. This is your new part-time thing, okay? I'm gonna teach you this for free, but it's actually not free because I require your most important asset, which is your attention. You need to lock the fuck in. You need to actually pay attention because the information you're about to receive could change everything for you. I promise you, I don't care how skeptical you are. This video will help you make money, specifically 5K a month outside of the thing you're doing already. Real quick, affirm with me that you're gonna make that money by hitting the like button, subscribe button. It's just good luck. Now, before we start, let's double check. Do you have 10 to 15 hours a week of free time? Do you speak English? And do you have a phone or a computer that is able to connect to the internet? Perfect. If you answered yes to all three of those questions, you can do this. Do what? Freelance copywriting. Freelance copywriting or content writing is by far the most elite side hustle because it doesn't matter exactly when you work. If you want to do it before your thing, it's like 6 a.m. If you want to do it after your thing, your job, at 9 p.m. you can do that. It requires no startup costs, literally none. It's just you and a Google Doc against the world. And it's a thing that every business needs. There are thousands of freelance writers in the world right now. We need more of them. Now let me break a belief for you. When I started doing this business back in 2020, I used to think it was impossible to make 5K a month because I'd never made 5K a month doing anything, let alone online. It just didn't compute for me. My goal when I started learning copywriting was just to replace the income that I was making as a server at a shitty restaurant, which was like 3K a month. In my first month, I flew past that and I made $4,500. My first month. And I did it by doing exactly what I'm about to tell you. And you're probably thinking, oh, 2020 was like a decade ago. How do you know that this stuff works today? I know this because Brad here from my inner circle, my coaching program, just hit his first 5K a month and he's doing this part-time. He's barely even trying. My team and I coached him to make 5K a month on the side of whatever the fuck he's doing during the day. Although you can make stupid money by doing freelance writing, like 10, 25K a month, that's not the goal right now. You don't need to quit your job or drop out of school to make an extra 5K a month. We're here to supplement your income. This is a 40 to 90 day journey that you can crush with my guidance. Let's go. Step 1, learning the wonderful, beautiful, lucrative skill of copywriting. If you don't know what it is, copywriting is the skill of sales, but instead of using your words, you're using your keyboard. Everyone knows that salespeople make bank because they make money when their boss makes money, basically. And those salespeople are working their asses off one-on-one. They're on the phone or they're sitting in front of you. It's a one-to-one conversation. I'm trying to sell you. But if you're a copywriter and you're using your keyboard and you're distributing these messages, these sales messages that you're writing to hundreds of thousands of people, that's way more leverage, way more effective. So you can be a salesperson and spend an hour selling a guy who's across from you and you can make $400, or you can sell thousands of people at a time and make your client or your boss hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars and you get a piece of that. I'll be the first to tell you, copywriting is way easier than sales, and salespeople are making 100K in their first year doing this thing. I know guys that have dropped out of high school and they're selling HVAC and they're making 150K a year. So that's why copywriting is so powerful, because it's sales with way less pressure and you're making way more money. Now, when you're learning how to write copy, all you're trying to do is learn how to write like a salesperson. So in the same way that someone can read a book and teach themselves sales, you can read a book or listen to a podcast or watch a YouTube video and teach yourself copywriting. I say this all the time. I'm terrible at reading, so I never do it. But if you want to read a book that's going to give you all the fundamentals, I highly recommend this book called Cashvertising. It's about this thick. You can get it pretty much anywhere. Highly, highly recommend it because it's just the basics, none of the noise. It teaches you how to pull at people's heartstrings. It teaches you how to make people really feel stuff to the point where they want to buy from your client. Now, because I'm not a huge reader, I'm a big podcast guy. So the podcasts I were listening to were all about copywriting, and I brainwashed myself with this stuff for like 3 months straight. Ben Settle. Big one. Ben Settle is one of the OG guys, been around since the 90s. Really, really good marketer, really knows his stuff. He's got a podcast, just type in Ben Settle. You got Hot Copy Podcast. This is like 2 Australian chicks who are really funny, and they talk about their experience freelancing. You get to hear kind of like how they deal with clients, how they land gigs, stuff like that. You also have Geniuses of Copywriting, where this guy, British dude, interviews like the best copywriters in the world, like the A-listers, and those are the guys that are making all the money. You want to be listening to stuff like that. You want to be around this type of information. So you're going to spend probably a week or two just soaking it all in. You're gonna read that book, you're gonna listen to these podcasts, you're gonna see all kinds of stuff online about copywriting, but it's not gonna be worth anything unless you actually practice. So the same way that salespeople will do what's called mock calls, where they basically have their buddy call them up or pretend to call them up, and they have a sales conversation, they go back and forth, you're just gonna do that, but you're gonna do it by yourself. You don't need anybody. Remember that ads and copywriting in general are all around you, so just look at the stuff that's directly in front of your face. Every time you see an ad, stop looking at it as an opportunity for you to buy some dumb shit you don't need, and look at it for what it really is. Look at the ad and be like, okay, in the video, which is also called the creative, why are they using these words? What is this doing? Am I feeling sold? Oh, maybe I am feeling sold. Why did I feel that? What can I do to sort of replicate this for someone else? And then you click on their website. The website's really good. They're using words that really make me want to buy stuff. They're talking about how much this thing can help me, this dog toy or this, supplement. And then you sign up for the brand's email list and you're seeing, okay, like look, they're using these words to sell this supplement. They say it's gonna improve my sleep patterns. They're saying it's gonna boost my testosterone. They're saying I'm gonna look like Sylvester Stallone. All this stuff, figure out why they're saying that. And then once you start to figure out the patterns, start writing the stuff yourself. Go in and basically recreate an ad for this brand that you've been studying, or a website, or an email. Just start writing this stuff, get it out of you, and start to feel what it feels like to write copy. It's gonna feel like you're pulling teeth at first, like it's gonna feel really hard, but I promise you, like this is a muscle. I've been doing this for 4 years and I'm wicked now, I'm nasty. But when I started, I was really bad. It took me an hour to get like 100 words out because I just didn't know what to say. You gotta get past that phase as fast as possible, and you do that with practice. So don't stress about this part. And remember that you're practicing for stuff that you're actually gonna do. This is not like you're like playing basketball hoping that one day you go to the league. There's a 90% chance you go to the copywriting big league. So this is like practice that you should be doing. Like you're going to be writing emails and probably ads and definitely websites and probably blog posts too. Go and write blog posts. And remember that this is easy fucking money, bro. Come on, just go and practice. So that's step one. Step two is setting up your online presence. So remember this, for a business owner to take you seriously, you have to have some sort of record that you exist online. Sometimes I get pitched by freelancers just like you're gonna be, and they don't have a website, they don't even have Instagram, they don't have LinkedIn, they're just a ghost, they're just a person with an email address. And that is a terrible way to go about trying to be a copywriter, because every little bit helps. So the answer is yeah, you need to have a website. And everyone moans and groans about, oh, I need to make a website. Are you joking, bro? This is the most fun of the entire process. Making a website is like an art project for adults. This is literally all you have to do. You go to Squarespace, you buy a domain. If your name is Ashley, you can make it ashleyscopy.com. Mad corny, but you can do it. It's gonna cost you $9 a year to have this domain. And then again, using Squarespace, you can make yourself a website in like 2 hours. And this is one of those things you can get ChatGPT to do for you. You can go to ChatGPT and be like, hey ChatGPT, I need you to write me landing page copy for my freelance copywriting website. Make it sound like I'm and then put your personality traits in there. Make it sound like I'm a absolute dog frat legend. If that's you, you could do that. Or make it sound like I'm a pleasure to have in class. ChatGPT, make this copy sound like I bench 3 plates. ChatGPT, make this sound like I'm the kind of guy that I'm 5'11", but I'm honest about it. You get the point. And then you literally take that stuff, copy it, put it on the website, and there you go, you got yourself a website. It does not matter really what's on the website, as long as you don't look like an absolute serial killer, you'll be okay. But the biggest thing that's gonna make you money is your Instagram. Or I suppose just social media in general, but Instagram is by far the best way to find clients. You're on Instagram already, so you're just gonna be using Instagram to get these clients, specifically your first client. Every brand you want to work with is on Instagram. They're really easy to find because they're trying to be found. But we're going to talk more about this later. For you, this is what you got to do. Any pictures that you have up right now that make you look like a walking red flag, just archive those for now. If you have a headshot and you want to make that your profile picture, do that for sure. And then put writer in your bio and then your little website that you just made. You don't have to start fresh with a new Instagram account. You can just use your personal one that you already have, that you've been using for years, and you just make that into a thing that attracts clients like honey. Now we're on step 3. You're getting that first client. So you've been hearing me say this word outreach over and over. You're like, what is outreach? In the simplest way possible, it's the backdoor way to getting a job. You're so used to going on Indeed, submitting your resume, doing a cover letter, jumping through hoops to get someone to pick you out of a hat to hire you for a job. We're not doing that anymore. We're going direct to the source. Remember, if you want to go and get a writing job, you can go and get a job, but this isn't a job, this is a freelance gig. And the client's gonna pay you as a contractor and they don't have full control over you. You're just there to write some copy that's gonna make them money. They can't tell you what to do and when to be there. So when you go and basically strike a deal with the client themselves, you don't have to follow the same rules of a job. The way you're gonna do this is you're gonna go on Instagram, find the brands or the people or whatever that you wanna write for, whether it's, an e-commerce brand selling socks or dog toys or supplements, or it's a personal brand, which is like a mom selling a course on how to be a mom or how to raise, chickens, or a gardener who's selling a course on how to garden, or someone selling a course on how to get fit, get a six-pack abs. Those are the people you're hitting up. Pretty much every single person with a business, you're gonna hit them up. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. This is probably the hardest part. You can 1000% go and just shoot shots all day long and get a client with outreach, but I understand that this is the thing that scares people the most. Beginners can get clients. People that don't know what I know can absolutely get clients, but there's so much to know to be like nasty at it. This is the main reason why I have what's called the inner circle, which I'll tell you more about later, but the purpose is to number one, get you really good at copy, and then to get you dirty at outreach. Like I said, because there's so much to know, like we'll teach you all of it and we have time. It's also a one-on-one thing, so like you can literally ask questions directly to me or one of your coaches if you are inside. Yes, this is a plug, the link is in the description, but don't leave yet because we gotta finish the video. To save us all some time, I'm just gonna throw some DM scripts that I know work up on the screen right now. I'm just gonna sit here and you can look at me while you read it. There's no editing here, I'm just gonna read it. Just go and read that stuff. Are you done reading it? Let me know when you're done. You done? Okay. So that's the Instagram method. You also have freelance writing job sites. There are people that are hiring copywriters that will go online, post a job, and you can just get it. Now there's one in particular that I had really good luck with. It's writers.work. So you go on writers.work. You have to filter out all the ones that require experience because you don't have any of that. And you have to find the ones that are remote and freelance, or if you want to find a part-time thing or a full-time thing, it's totally up to you. But you have to filter it out, figure out what you want, and just send as many shots as you can. And again, sometimes they might be asking for resumes. You can go the back doorway, and if you know someone's hiring, message the founder of the company. Google founder of this company. They're probably going to appear on LinkedIn. You can hit them on LinkedIn, you can hit them on Instagram, Facebook, DM their mom, whatever. So you're almost there. You've almost got that first client. You could probably taste it. You're sending like 20 to 40 DMs a day. You're doing probably like 10 little job proposals a day on writers.work. After 2 weeks, someone's gonna hit you up. At one point, they're gonna ask you to get on a call and you're gonna have to talk to them and tell them about how you're gonna work and what you're gonna charge them before you actually get paid to do anything. This is no big deal. It's a sales call. This is what it is. Do not stress yourself out. I promise there's nothing to worry about. The conversation will be very friendly. You're gonna talk about their business. They're gonna tell you what they need. You're gonna be like, all right, sounds good. They're gonna be like, what are you gonna charge? And you can give them an hourly rate if you want, but I highly recommend you give them a retainer rate. So this is why this is so much better than just picking up shifts at Walmart or wherever you're working. You can tell the client, hey, yeah, I'm gonna do this for $2,000 a month. This might sound like a crazy number to you. I don't think it will be. Many copywriters get paid way more than that. Sometimes they're charging upwards of $10,000 a month per client. And most of the time, if they like you and they think you're gonna be good, you can close them on $2,000 a month. And the best part is, you're not gonna be working anywhere near the hours that you normally would to make $2,000 a month. Most copywriting clients are like 2-3 hours a week. My biggest retainer client right now pays me $6,000 a month. It's 5 hours of work a week. And I have a tiny little client that pays me $2,000 a month, and it's like 30 minutes a week. I write 1 email a week. I actually did an email today for that client, and it took me less than, it was like 15 minutes. So once you sign that client, congrats, you're at $2,000 a month, but that's not $5,000 a month, that's only $2,000 a month. Where are you gonna pull this other money out of your bum? That's where we go to step 4, which is getting the second client. The good news is getting your second client is like 100 times easier than getting your first client. When you're going to get that first client, I know you're thinking like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, I have no idea what's going on right now. You have a ton of imposter syndrome. You have no idea how copywriting works, and you have zero confidence you can actually do this. And on top of that, you still think all this stuff is like a scam, so you're not even really putting your all into it because you're like, what if this actually isn't a thing? What if this doesn't work? But just so you know, that happens to everyone. Everyone thinks it's not real until they sign that first client. And then all of that goes away once you sign that first one, and then your second client, you're walking in swinging. So you can keep doing what you were doing before with the DMs and the job search thing. You could do that, that's one way to go. But you just unlocked 2 other ways to get that second client that you didn't have access to before. So way number 1 is to get a referral from that existing client. Basically, after a month, what's gonna happen is you might do a really good job for them, and they're gonna be like, wow, I'm really happy with this relationship, this is going great. And what you can do is you can get your clients to recruit you more clients using the script that's on the screen right now. Again, editor, do not touch a thing. Do not cut this clip. Read it. Are you reading it? Read what's on the screen. Let me know when you're done. Done? Okay, that's the script you use. I've used that to get hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of business that I did not have to do outreach for because I have clients that love me, that want to share their friends with your boy. You also have the option, this is way number 2, to go to Upwork. There's a lot of little freelance apps that really suck, like Fiverr. never worked for me. Reason for that is because you're basically asking clients to come to you, and you don't want to be sitting there passively. You want to be going after these people. You want to chase the money. It's what we're born to do. On Upwork, that is exactly what you're doing. Now that you have experience, you can put a portfolio up, you can set your hourly rate. You're gonna see all these jobs that are in your niche, whatever you decide to do. If you want to do blog stuff, you want to do email, you want to do ads, you want to do websites, you want to do product descriptions, whatever you want to do, you can do all of it if you want. You can put it on Upwork, put your experience on there, and you can go and start applying for these freelance gigs that are actually really good. A lot of people say that Upwork kind of sucks, but it only sucks when you don't have any experience and you're only using it as like your primary source of income. At this point, you probably have, I think you have a job. You said that, right? You also have this one client that's paying most of the stuff that you need. You know what I mean? It's $2,000 a month. That's not nothing. And Upwork, you might have a gig that's 50 bucks. You might have one that's 500. You might have one that's a couple grand. My best Upwork success story is back in November of 2020. I started working with this agency. They just had me writing long form ads. They taught me how to write direct response. So I actually got really good at copywriting just through this guy because he was such a good marketer. I was getting paid 50 bucks an ad, sometimes more if it was a really long one. And I was just doing a bunch of ads every single week. And we worked together from November of 2020 to like January of 2022. And in that time, I had probably made $10,000+ with this guy. So there's some gems on Upwork. You can really find some good stuff if you dig and you're cool. But it's way easier. They make the whole process so simple. You just go on there, get yourself a little client. Upwork holds the money so you don't get scammed. It's perfect. So you have the $2,000 a month that's consistent. That's like free money just coming in as long as you don't fuck it up with this client. They're gonna keep paying you that. And then you have Upwork, which is like anytime you want an extra little bag, you go and do that. I used to treat Upwork sort of like a little mistress. If I was going away for the weekend and I wanted an extra 500 bucks, I would challenge myself. I'm gonna be like, okay, I got a week to figure out how to make an extra 500 bucks. I'm gonna find a client on Upwork. I'm just gonna grab one real quick so I have some spending money. That's how you can treat Upwork. It's really fun. Step 5 is coasting. It might take you a month and a bit to sort of figure out your new routine. So if you have a thing during the day from like 9 to 5 or something like that, and you have clients on the side, you're gonna try and figure out like, okay, like how do I do this? Do I write it during my lunch break? Do I write it in the morning? Do I write it after? When do I talk to these people? All that matters is that you just maintain a good relationship with your client. This is gonna sound really weird, but your clients can be like your best friends. Like I became super close with some of my clients. We hang out still to this day, even if we're not working together. Like they become like your homies. It's not like a regular working relationship where you have like a boss and they're telling you what to do. Like it's really different. They kind of trust you more and they like you because they're working with you on sort of like a lower pressure environment. And also because if you're good, which is not that hard to be good at copywriting, you can make them a lot of money and they love that. Now I understand everything that I just threw at you is probably a lot. And I also understand that I probably can't teach you everything that you need to learn to do this in just one little video on YouTube. This is why I have the Inner Circle, like I said before. The Inner Circle is like a coaching program, but it's more than that. What happens is you click the link, you apply to work with us, you make a small investment so we can actually help you and you get skin in the game. And then what you're paying for is you get onboarded by our onboarding expert. You get one-on-one coaching calls with a copywriter who's making 6 figures. You get daily coaching calls with a group. You get copy review. You get to ask any question you want. It's so hands-on that there's no way that you won't make it work. To make $5K a month with this is a fucking cakewalk. To do more than that is also possible too if you actually want to put the work in. So if you want to check out the Inner Circle, like I said, links in the description. Highly recommend you check that out. Just watch the video and then apply. But I want you to remember this too, because I don't know where you're at in life, but there's a good chance if you're watching this, you're like severely unsatisfied with where you're at and what you're doing and where you're heading. The thing with most people and the way that they live life is that they're not very intentional about what they do. They kind of just let wind sort of blow them in the direction that, they just would go if they were blown that way. You have people that plan their life around whatever they're forced to do every single day. You know what I mean? They got to do their chores. They got to mow the lawn. They got to go to work. They got to take care of this thing. They got to, clock into their second job. You got to listen to this guy. That's not really the way that most people want to do this stuff. I fully understand if you're thinking like, that's just not appealing to me. I love copywriting because I love what it gives me. I love that I have extra money in my bank account, so if an emergency happens, I'm set. I don't have to ask for help from anyone. I love that it allows me to work from home and I don't have to do shit if I don't want to. I could take sick days without having to call in and be like, hey, I don't want to come in today. I just don't work if I don't want to. And I'm sharing this because once upon a time, there was a guru online who talked about how great copywriting was, and I actually did it, and I have my life fully changed. And I hope that now I can do the same for you. Thanks again for watching. Do not forget, oh my God, don't forget to subscribe. Definitely don't forget to like, and definitely don't forget to click the link in the bio if you want coaching so that I can actually help you make this a reality if you're trying to do copywriting. Thanks for hanging out. See you in the next video.